Hey, just come hang out with me while I talk about my experience with Juliana's perfume. I have so much stuff to review, so I'm just chilling and trying to get some stuff done, including my purchases from Juliana's perfume. I purchased three, and the three that I purchased are Blissful Essence, um, Heaven's Reflection, and Guiding Light. So those are the three I purchased, and they also sent me two samples with my purchase. This one, for some reason, you could barely see something happened to the label, as you can see, so you could barely see what's on it. But I could see some of the notes, and I ended up finding it on their website. And that one was that one with the dark label is Orelia, and the other one is Quiet Canopy. So just before I, give my opinion on these fragrances, I will say that I first became aware of Juliana's perfume because I had ordered a sample from Micro Perfumes of Parfums de Marly Meliora, and I really love this one, but I have bought myself some expensive fragrances. Y'all, I wanted to do reviews. I was just working so much and been so busy this summer that I gifted myself some great fragrances for summer, so I really can't just purchase Melior right now, or well, really I could, but I shouldn't. But I really enjoy Meliora. I don't think it gets enough love. People call it shampooy. I don't think so. Meliora is, it's got greenness to it and it's very berry. And for me, it really lasts. I put just a tiny bit of it on my hand, and then like a couple hours later I had to wash a few dishes and the sink, and it was still on my hand. So I mean, it has that nice Parfums de Marly quality, of course, and I could just tell that if I had sprayed this on my body, um, skin and clothes especially, it definitely would be lasting. So I really enjoy Meliora. And it's not the kind of fragrance that I would want a dupe of. I would want Meliora in all its Parfums de Marliness. However, I was curious if there was a good dupe of it. And when I looked it up, I came across Reddit in a conversation about really good inspirations and dupes. And there was a young woman on there who was talking about Juliana's perfume. And the one she had ordered some of the really popular ones. I think she ordered a Baccarat, and I don't know what else, but she ordered several, and she was very pleased with them. And I looked them up, and they had their inspired by version of um, Meliora. I forget what they called theirs because I ended up not getting that, and now I wish I would have, because the one that I did get that's called the Guiding Light, that's clearly inspired by Amouage Guidance, which I have never smelled before. But now that I have smelled Juliana's perfume of their Guiding Light, I really have to get my hands on even just to try like a travel size of Guidance. And I think Guidance is one that you either love it or you don't, and I can get that. So this was a great introduction for me to Guidance. Not just introduction. I love this. I love their Guiding Light. But I can definitely see that this is one that you either love it or you don't. And for me, it's mesmerizing. So I'm really pleased with that purchase. But now I wish I had got their one that was just straight Meliora. But instead, I did get one that the Blissful Essence is a combination of Meliora and two other fragrances. But again, y'all are just hanging out chatting with me. So if you're looking for a quick review, this isn't it. I'm just enjoying sitting with you like you're in here in my room with me, and we're talking about it. Because I'm tired and this is how I feel like doing it. So, um, anyways, but before I do, so let me first tell y'all that it took like 2 weeks or more, or a little more, for me to get these fragrances, because they make their own fragrances. They're out there in West Sacramento, California. And if you go on their page, some of their fragrances are seasonal, and they make batches and then they sell out. So if there's one you really want to explore or that you already know you love or you want, you need to be on top of it and get it. You can sign up for their newsletter. You can also get their annual newsletter, which really isn't talking about the fragrances that they're about to put out. Their website says that it's talking about their process and their inspiration and like the behind the scenes things going on with the company, Juliana's Perfume. And if you want, they'll even send it to you like in the mail free of charge. Another plus about this company is that all of your orders are free shipping. So even if you order one thing, it's still free shipping. That's really nice. I like that, because I like adding up my orders or seeing what I'm spending, and then not having to go, oh, what's it going to cost for shipping? Or do I have to order this, this, and this to get the free shipping? That kind of stuff. So it's nice they have free shipping. Also, they also have their membership is only, I'm looking at my little notes. I love this little notebook I got from Dollar Tree, where I get most of my notebooks like this. Their membership is only, oh no, it's $10 a year. And when you do that, you get 25% off every purchase. And I think you also get like first dibs on their fragrances that are coming out. So back to these fragrances. Well, you already know that I don't want to review the Guiding Light first, though. First, I want to talk about the Blissful Essence. This is the very, very end of July 2025, and when I just looked at their site, this one is sold out. Another thing they say is they make their quality fragrances, and unlike other fragrance companies or houses that upcharge you for the name or for the packaging, they like to keep it simple. Well, they do keep it simple. However, I think that the artwork on each of their fragrances is always really nice. It's always something that's sort of like fantasy like. It just looks like you could get lost in the artwork. It's very beautiful. Um, they're all like that. So I'll show you each of them, and plus you can see it on their website as well, of course. But that's very pretty. And the atomizers are pretty nice as well. So Blissful Essence, and I just sprayed it on this rag, this wash rag. I know it looks dingy, but it's clean. And I believe these have gotten stronger. I got these, like I said, it took me like 2 weeks to get them or more. But I've had these now for like a month. And by the way, the site has sales. I know they had sales around 4th of July and stuff. I should have done the video then, but I was busy. Um, I believe they're getting a little stronger because initially, maybe it's good I waited. Initially, I was going to review them and be like, I don't find any of them to be particularly strong. And I still don't think they're like strong powerhouses as far as just the power of the fragrances. But that doesn't mean they're not nice fragrances. So also the day I got these, my daughters were meeting me here, and it was my two daughters and my eldest daughter's boyfriend, and we were going to a fairy festival in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. So they arrived just in time for that. And my daughters ran up. I said, oh, I just got these fragrances, and I was already dressed. They were already dressed, and um, I kind of sprayed a little bit of all of them on me because I was excited spraying these on. Although I did not smell the two samples that they sent until just tonight. It was the first time I smelled them. And immediately the one that my daughters preferred out of all of these was the Blissful Essence, of course. It's mass appealing. As I said, it's currently sold out. So I felt very fantasy like going to my fairy festival. Saw a lot of people from the local independent film scene. It was a lot of fun. But I was feeling like I couldn't smell myself anymore, and I was like, I feel like nobody's complimenting me or anything, and I ended up complimenting this guy and his girlfriend on their fragrance, and my daughter said, "No, Mom, we can smell you. You smell nice. We smell your fragrance." But it doesn't have none of these have the sillage that something like, for example, I love Atomic Rose, great sillage. None of these have that kind of sillage. I mean, maybe they do if you really super spray. And when I just sprayed this Blissful Essence and I went outside because I smoke cigarettes on this beautiful summer night, even though I didn't even spray myself, I sprayed it on this rag. I was like, oh yeah, I do smell really good. And it smells really good out here. Uh, just for me touching that and spraying it on there. So Blissful Essence, the reason I chose Blissful Essence instead of their straight one that was just pure inspiration Meliora is because, you know, I thought, okay, I have that little sample of Meliora. I know I love it. And Blissful Essence is a blend of Meliora, God of Fire, and Mango Sun. Those all sound intriguing, or those other two do. So I thought, let me see what that smells like. Now, the notes in this are blackcurrant, red berries, cassis, jasmine, lotus, lily of the valley, ylang ylang, coumarin, musk, amber, vanilla, pink icing, whatever. Whatever that, I mean, I know what icing smells like, but whatever pink icing is supposed to be. Um, I'm curious now about Mango Skin and God of Fire, but I can't necessarily imagine like what they might smell like to distinguish in this fragrance. I can definitely smell the bit of it that's there being inspired by Blissful Essence, but I can tell that it's not just straight inspired by Blissful Essence alone. You definitely get the berry. It's got that nice, there's something green in it. There's berry freshness. There's a little tiny bit of sharpness to it, but not in a bad way with that berry. And it's got sweetness from the vanilla, and it's got floral. And it just smells otherwise fruity, floral, with like some oomph to it, with some greenness. And not like heavy spiciness, but maybe like floating around throughout it, just kind of lightly weaving through it, a little bit of spiciness and sweetness, but fresh and cleanness too. That's Blissful Essence. Blissful Essence is very girly, very playful, clearly a crowd pleaser. But if you want it to last, I would say carry it with you if you really want to make sure you keep smelling like it, or just spray very heavily. So that is the essence of Blissful Essence. I do enjoy it. I still want to try their version of Meliora, and I would like to try. Well, I mean, there's so many things I want to buy, just like you, right? There's so many things we want to buy. But currently, just now when I looked at their site, currently on their page, they have, I think it was 102 products. So there's a lot to browse through. Now that's current. Now some of those are seasonal and some of them will be sold out. So like I said, if you're interested in any in particular, you need to stay on top of it with this, with Juliana's perfume. Okay, next, let's talk about Heaven's Reflection. Again, really dreamy, really fantasy-like picture. It's very pretty. Now this is supposed to be for somebody who wants a sense of peacefulness and balance and tranquility type of thing. Another thing is when you look on their website, they have a really good like sort of story and backdrop to go with each fragrance. I wouldn't mind reading them out loud, but I think I've done that on a video or two. But of course you go to the website and read them. That's the gist of this one though. And initially, this one was kind of my favorite. I will say that I have noticed that with this one and Guiding Light, there is like this hint of like a Play-Doh smell. Definitely in Guiding Light. But when I looked up reviews of Amouage Guidance, a lot of people report that with Guidance anyway. But this does have this salty, well, this has marine notes, so perhaps that's where it's coming from. But just a little bit of a salty Play-Doh-ness to this, although it doesn't take over the fragrance. Let me read the notes. I like this, but really my favorite, even though I love the Blissful Essence, my favorite out of all of these is still the Guiding Light. Uh, so, Heaven's Reflection, which I like the name of, and I think that their backstory talks about it's like where you kind of see the images of heaven and where they meet this world, and then the reflection of that in this world. So you get that type of Zen vibe, I guess, and just appreciation of nature around you. So this has got notes of um, orange, bergamot, mandarin, cardamom. Keep that in mind. Marine notes: jasmine, peach, muguet, amber, which is lily of the valley, the muguet, amber, musk, patchouli, and vanilla. I personally, even though this intrigued me maybe the most at first, where before I really got a chance to really smell them, I have so many things to reach for. I'm not sure how often I would specifically reach for this to wear as my scent of the day for myself. And it seems like when I did my order, this said for women. However, it might not still say that. To me, this is unisex, even though it has some watery floral notes. And when you hear that list of notes, you could easily see it being somewhat of a unisex fragrance. Um, I mean, it has some femininity to it with the jasmine and the peach and lily of the valley, but with the marine notes and the citrus, the various kinds of citrus, and the cardamom, plus those general base notes of the amber, musk, patchouli, vanilla, I think that I would be more intrigued smelling this on a man than I am intrigued with it on myself. That's not to say that it's masculine, so if y'all think you like that vibe and you want to give it a try, don't let that discourage you. I definitely get the marine notes. I get the fresh, the citrus is not sharp citrus, even though it has a lot of that citrus. The citrus is watery, and plus some of the florals are that watery type of, like the muguet. Plus you have the marine notes. And what's interesting is the top and mid of this would make you think purely summer. However, just like this picture does not look purely summer, I feel like, and I don't even like discussing cold weather because I no longer have any use for it. I'm purely 100% summer is my thing. Even though I love fall, summer's my thing. Um, this could be worn in cold weather though. It's got warmth in the dry down, the amber musk patchouli. By the way, you barely smell any patchouli in this. You get some warmth from the amber, and the musk really blends well with that wateriness of the watery florals, and the jasmine would be like nighttime type jasmine I pictured, maybe daytime too. This is not purely floral heavy. It's more like the watery citrus and then like sort of watery florals kind of mixing with the marine notes, which seems summery, but then you had kind of dries with this warm musky vanilla, and not a heavy vanilla, just enough vanilla to be a smoothing out with just a hint of vanilla, really. Not heavy, not pure vanilla. Well, maybe not just a hint, but it's not like a key vanilla type of fragrance. So that's what I think about Blissful Essence. I think anyone could wear it. I like having it, but then again, I'm a fragrance hoarder, so I like having all of them. I'm just not, maybe I need to get out and date and stuff more just so I have guinea pigs to date, to test fragrances on. And plus, when I get back to work with all the men that I work with, you better believe I'll just be more sampling fragrances on them. Um, because that's mostly what I care about. I like hearing everybody's review, but I mostly care about what do I think about how it smells on me and what do men think about how it smells on me is my main concern. Um, this is nice. So fruity, watery, somehow a little hint of salty Play-Doh, marine notes. but then some warmth too. I just think it could be pulled off any season, and I would be more intrigued with it on a man. But it's not a masculine fragrance. So that's Heaven's Reflection. And then I need to do a separate review on Meliora, y'all, because if you can't tell, I really love that one. Um, so now let's move on to what I am most absolutely intrigued with. I now know that I need to get at least a travel size of Amouage Guidance. And I hear that Amouage Guidance, you just need the tiniest amount because it is apparently a super powerhouse. Also, if you go to Amouage or even on Fragrantica, the sort of the backdrop story for Amouage, they do an excellent job of matching the story to the fragrance because it's guidance, it's otherworldly guidance, it's kind of like meditative enlightenment is like the kind of vibe I get off of it. And I love this, and I am just, this is addictive to me. And I don't care if it offends people who don't like this smell because that's how much I like it. This is so good. I just love this. And I would have, thank you, Juliana's Perfume, because this smells fabulous. And I would have never known how much I know I'll like guidance if I just happened to have not, just happened to have ordered this from Juliana's Perfume. Because, like I said, I went there with the intentions of seeing how they did Meliora. And I didn't even get that one. I got the blend, which is nice. And Heaven's Reflection, which is nice, but I need to spray that on some dudes and see how I like it. And then this Guiding Light, I can't say how identical it is to Guidance because I don't have it. I'm guessing that it's probably really close, really, really close. And even if it's not super duper duper close, they've just done a job with this that I love. So, their notes for Guiding Light are pear, hazelnut, olibanum, osmanthus, rose, saffron, jasmine sambac, sandalwood, vanilla, akigala wood, which I love that note, ambergris, and labdanum. Labdanum. Some of these words are tongue twisters to me. Now, I don't mind spraying this on myself right now or ever. These have nice atomizers, you'll see. Oh, gosh. For those of us who love this scent profile, it is otherworldly, dreamy. It's so good. And for those of you who don't love it, I get that you don't love it. I can see how, if it's not really your thing, then it's not at all your thing. But at the same time, it's like, how can you not appreciate it? It's so good to me. And theirs is so well blended. I've got to order me a travel size of the Amouage version so I could compare. Surely this is not as powerful as Amouage because I've just read and heard repeatedly that the Amouage guidance is incredibly powerful. I like to be very careful with it, but this really has a salty Play-Doh note to it. When I read on Fragrantica for guidance, some people don't get that at all, and some people strongly get it. Obviously, I'm one of those people, and I don't know where it comes from. But this is so well blended that nothing like stands out all by itself necessarily to me. It's smooth. It's like warm, but it's not like warm and lazy. It's warm and mesmerizing. It's now osmanthus. I'm not getting like a lot of fruity osmanthus. So it would be, I don't know, it's almost like the fruit, any kind of fruitiness in it would be bellowy fruitiness, kind of enveloped by this warmth and the sandalwood and the saffron and I guess a kiggle of wood. A kiggle of wood is not super strong in here because typically I like the pepperiness. I get pepperiness from that, like an edginess from it. I don't necessarily get that in this, but I still love this. Somehow this has saltiness to me, which I love. And you do get the warm hazelnut, some wateriness from pear, I imagine. It's somehow juicy, warm, golden, and woody. It's like grounded, yet it's grounded in woodiness, but yet intriguing with like some amount of like spiciness, soft, bellowy water, and also watery fruitiness. It has some like a meditative vibe when you think of some meditative smells are purely like can also be smells like eucalyptus and mint. To me, that could also be like calming and cooling and meditative. This has got groundedness mixed with this sort of, I don't know, golden warmth. You've got to go back and look at the description from Amouage. It is really a bellowy, like fanciful description, but it's so right on. And I really should just pull it. Maybe when I'm done with the other two, I will just go ahead and pull that up and read it out loud because they just capture this fragrance. Now, this, of course, is Juliana's Perfume Guiding Light, but it's inspired by Guidance. So I will still read Amouage's description of Guidance. This just does it for me. Now, it's not a every occasion fragrance, but I will definitely delight in it, like just wrap myself in it at home. And I made the mistake of wearing this to my gym in the summer, like a couple weeks ago when I was house sitting. It wasn't even my home location of my gym. And it was probably not appropriate for the gym setting. This would be more either special occasion or in a type of crowd that can really enjoy more niche things, or even more, even if you went to some kind of, if you were around people who were like the type of people who do Zen things, or have that personality. I don't know where this salty Play-Doh thing is coming from, but I like it in it. So I'll come back to this one and we'll read that Amouage description. Of course, you don't have to hang around for that, but if you feel like it, sometimes I like being read to. I mean, I love reading, but sometimes I like to just hear somebody else read something. So, moving on to the two samples that they gave me. Like I said, I had to get my Dollar Tree reading glasses out for this to try and then use my phone to like really light that up. They were very particular setting these. They put them each in their own little plastic wrapper that I had to tear open to get into. So I don't know how that happened, but let's go on to the that sample, and I have it on my wrist, but I just sprayed guiding light down my arm. But I could still smell the Orelia. Orelia, especially anybody of any age could wear Orelia, but I am guessing especially young, especially in your 20s, that whole youthful, nice and flirty, playful, but yet it's very feminine. Like an older woman can wear it too, so it's not at all like too youthful. So its notes are orange, pear water, bergamot, lotus, water lily, pink mimosa, amber, white, cashmere woods, and vanilla. So this one has a really, it's very perfumey. I mean, it smells like, it almost reminds me of some of the popular, maybe Middle Eastern fragrances that are copying popular designer fragrances, yet the Middle Eastern fragrances, a lot of them have a dustiness that I do not like. It's like they'll almost capture something, but then it's got some kind of like dustiness to it that just kind of kills it for me. There are Middle Eastern fragrances that I like, but quite a many of them, ruin it with that like heaviness, like a dusty heaviness. I don't know, but and I'm not just talking about the oud type thing either. I'm just talking about almost like a, it just doesn't have that lift, that vibe. I don't know. It's just, it's not refined enough. I don't know what it is. But anyways, I was going to respray that. Oh, yeah. Where did I just put it? There it is. Just respray it again. You could definitely smell the orange. So this almost has like a designer. I said niche. Almost, oh, I was going to say like Middle Eastern when they're copying things like when they do their copies of La Vie Belle. This smells like a mix between designer and niche. This one does. But yet it's a crowd pleaser. It's very girly. I think they use pink. Besides saying pink mimosa, I think somewhere in the description they're talking about how feminine. And I shouldn't say just girly because it's grown to, like I said, it's not too youthful. But I think they use the word pink again to sort of describe the vibe. It's a pink, even though it's got oranginess in the opening. The opening is very nice, orangey. And the florals are really nice. So it's orange, pear water. That pear water is fresh. Bergamot gives it a little, a little something, a little zing to it, but it's not zingy or sharp. Uh, Lotus, water lily, pink mimosa, that kind of fizziness, but yet it's still light. It's like this watery, the watery floral, the juicy orange. It's not pure juicy. This, I guess, the cashmere woods gives it that smooth vibe, almost borderline creamy, but it's just really just smooth, and sweet vanilla. Although the vanilla does not overtake it, it does not become a vanilla fragrance. So don't worry about that if you're not a vanilla fan. This is nicely done. I really like the orange with the pear water. Notice they say pear water. It really has that freshness mixed in with the sweet, fruity, watery floral. Um, and then just a little bit of warmth in the dry down. I've already sprayed it, so I know. With the amber and white cashmere wood, so it's not heavy woods. And just a nice smooth vanilla. So this one is currently sold out. Orelia is currently sold out. So you could, I think, pre-order when they say they're going to do a stock coming out. This one is a general crowd pleaser, as is Blissful Essence. Blissful Essence has a little more, it's a little like brighter, and it's got like a little more, it's not as, this one's more watery, and I think they say something about like dewiness on petals, with the watery aspect of it, with the fruit and the floral. Um, and the Blissful Essence definitely has from the Meliora. I can't speak on the other two that it's blended with, like their originals, but it definitely has that sharper, not in a bad way, and a hint of green, and just a little more up up there, and a little louder, a little brighter, a little edgier fruitiness than this does. This is the Orelia. I keep wanting to say Orelia, but I don't know how they pronounce it. Orelia. Um, Very pretty. Mature women and young women, young girls could wear this, and it's probably a compliment getter. Very feminine. So that's Orelia. And the last but not least sample that they sent me, which you can't even read on here, is, and I like it. It is, where did I write it on here? Where did I write it down? Please tell me I wrote this down. Oh no, it really is this one, sorry. That's why I didn't write it down. I can read this one. Sorry. Losing my mind. Do y'all remember Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five? If you're very young, you don't know what I'm talking about, but, or maybe you do if you're a music fan. The Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. I used to play old school jams in the car when my kids were babies, and my eldest would just love this one. She'd be sitting in her car seat and love that song by Grandmaster Flash. Anyways, so this one is Quiet Canopy, and I do like it. It's one of their original blends, and the notes are green tea, bamboo sap, coconut, vanilla, hinoki wood, cashmere, and moss. This one is not overly strong, and they talk about this one being like that warm, relaxing, or that really relaxing part of your day because it's got the tea. And I remember them talking about on the site, it's the kind of tea that you would add cream to, um, not just water it, make it with cream. So it's got that. The coconut is not super strong. It's like this creamy tea. It's somewhat pretty much a gourmand, a gentle gourmand, not sickly sweet gourmand. Um, I know some of y'all love the sickly sweet gourmands. I too love a few like that, but it's not my main thing. This is for anybody, so ladies, gentlemen, non-identifying, whatever. This is, y'all know what I mean. This is just anybody can enjoy this, and it will smell nice on anyone or anything you put it on, as so long as you like the scent profile, which I think most people are good with this. Whether or not it's going to turn your head, whether it's something that makes you say to somebody, oh, yeah, or makes, you know, some fragrances just make people attractive, even if they're not otherwise attractive. If this is if this is that for you, then I don't know. Even if it's not that for you, it's a pleasant smell. So original blend, yeah, you definitely get like this milky green tea, and I like the fact like that bamboo. Everybody, I don't know anybody who doesn't like the bamboo. No, this has bamboo sap. Um, Hinoki wood. This is not overly woody. This is just, again, this is very zen, very calming, almost meditative, but yet with that hint of gourmand. It's very pleasant. It's not something that's going to be like a wow fragrance or like a super big head turner, unless that's just so much your thing that you're like, oh, that smells so nice. That's really calming. Let me just see. I gotta spray this arm because and plus I have it on this wrist anyway. This is really nice. I don't think this one is particularly strong at all, but this fragrance profile usually isn't overly strong. You definitely get the green tea. It almost seems like, hmm, it almost seems like there's a hint of a mint in there, although it's not listed. Maybe that's the moss. There's something green. I mean, it does say green tea, but it seems like there's something in the opening that's a little greener than green tea, which I like. I really like the opening to this. This too, for just a moment, has the itsy bitsy bitsy teeny tiny hint of that salty Play-Doh. I don't know if that's just, maybe that's something with Juliana's perfume. It's not very strong in this, but it's a hint of it is there. Um, it does seem like it has like a bamboo. This says bamboo sap. Is that supposed to smell different than bamboo? It seems like it would be like, everybody knows I love panda bears, and I love everything associated with panda bears. In fact, panda bears are calming to me and make me happy. I just saw them not that long ago at the National Zoo in DC, and I was so happy to see them. In fact, that's now what this makes me think of. Me chillaxing with some milky green tea, and I'm in a bamboo forest with the panda bears, and there's wateriness and moss on the rocks, and it's kind of tropical with an ever so slight hint of coconut. This is this evokes happiness and feeling calm and good. I do like this one. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't order Quiet Canopy. Even the name sounds like you pictured panda bears. This is totally unisex. Oh, this is really nice. I do like it. I hope that if I order a full-size bottle, I hope I'll have it and it will gain some strength. Although this type of fragrance, you don't need it to be. Y'all, Y'all, I might hang up on here and actually go and order this one. Now that I have got panda bears and me sipping my milky green tea, I am like a child around panda bears. Like on the inside, I am. In my mind, I am. I love them so much. Yep, I now know I probably must have this. So, and it also has, so it has a vanilla, hinoki wood, cashmere and moss. So even though you're like around panda bears sipping milky green tea, it's still kind of tropical. And there's some sweetness in your tea, and there's just sweetness and the lushness of the bamboo forest. And the panda bears are playing, and it's just a hint of tropical with coconut. And there's a lot of lush greenness and water flowing with moss on the fresh water and rocks. Yeah, that's what I think of. So I like this one. I might have to get it. That's wrapping it up, unless you want to hang around for me to I'm brainstorming. I'm probably gonna hang up and I'm gonna break down and get this one. uh they've got so many to choose from though, you guys. They've got their own blends, then they have blends of popular ones put together, then they have uh just the ones that are just purely inspired by one. So let's just have a look at back to guidance, because I do also really love that. I just want to see, I want to read to you, if you're still hanging around, the description by Amouage of guidance. All my phones are acting up because I have so much stuff on my phones. Too much. Way too much. Um, since we're just chilling, I know you don't mind waiting. Um, if you're still here with me. So guidance Amouage on Fragrantica. I can't believe Fragrantica calls guidance a fruity floral. Like, what? I don't find it to be a fruity floral. Maybe the actual guidance is. Maybe that fruitiness from the osmanthus in Amouage guidance actually really comes out. If it does, I love that because I really like osmanthus. That still won't change the fact that I love theirs. There's a hint of that in theirs, but not enough to where I would call it a fruity floral. Now, for guidance Amouage on Fragrantica, the main accords say woody, amber, warm, spicy, fruity, nutty, sweet, powdery, vanilla, floral, balsamic. And yes, it is a hint powdery. Theirs is just a hint in balsamic. But back to the description. Okay, I put my Dollar Tree readers on. Oh my god, y'all, this is so long, and there's fingerprints all over these glasses. I know I look like a dweeb. Uh, 43 minutes. Oh my gosh, it'll take forever to upload this. So it says the delicate strength of femininity. An ivory tower wreathed in shreds of clouds, dewy mist, a fragile pear, inviting almond milk and beads of frankincense, draws the outlines of a dreamful haven. A princess whispers you in and leads the way to a lush garden where osmanthus blossoms diffuse their heady apricot scent. A fountain gleams in the center, its marble edge covered in scarlet rose, whose voluptuous scent meets that of leathery saffron threads laid on the floor. Through jasmine screen, sultry and spent, the woman walks, and there comes with her a scent of dark vanilla and skin like sandalwood. Even in Juliana's perfume, I would agree with that. It's a skin like sandalwood and of ambery labdanum. The Guiding Lights has that going on too. And purring hints of regal orientalgris. Wait, what is this? Orientalgris? I don't know that word. Who are you? She asked. And you feel seen. A spellbinding and novel interpretation of the Amouage triad of rose, frankincense, and orientalgris. I thought I had a decent vocabulary, but I guess not. I need to look that up. Guidance reads like a poem, smells like an embrace, and feels like a word of wisdom. And here I am doing the double chin position. And now I can't see. Um, so that's that. Thanks for hanging out with me. I always enjoy fragrances. If you've tried any of these, let me know your thoughts on them. If you get them, please come back and share with anybody else who may sit through this long one. Maybe they'll just read the comments. If you've tried them, if you like or dislike, approve or disapprove, please put it in the comments. And please, I would really appreciate it if you enjoy any of these videos. Please like and subscribe. I hope you have had or are having a great summer. If you watch this some other season, some other year, I hope everything is going great. I'll see you soon.